Easy, Cook, come on. Oh, Sean found a way. Welcome back to the Big Breakfast. It's 8:09. We don't normally cry this at this time, but we are now.
Read all about it!
I'm sorry, regular viewers who set your watch by every movement that happens on the show. I'm very sorry that we aren't quite as clockwork this morning. Do you know what? Mark Bright has got the mail.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
Red Ken, it was theft. Frank Dobson wins the Labour mayoral nomination by the slenderest of margins, 51.53% of the vote against Livingstone's 48.47%. But Livingston denounced the result as tainted, pointing to two Blairite union leaders who gave their block vote to Dobson without letting their members vote. Easy, Gordon. It's not even your party.
Just a man called Norris.
Talk to me about democracy. Let's go through to the Guardian. Livingston loses by a whisker and faces his biggest gamble. Livingston holds out against backing Dobson as he weighs up his chances of succeeding as an independent candidate. Do you know what? I think the public is cynical enough about this sort of the whole mayoral race. Well, we are in London. That, you know, we don't really parties sort of go out the window for it. We just want a good candidate. I think Livingston, if he stood as independent, I know he'd win. I've got absolutely no doubt whatsoever. I don't see what party politics got to do with who runs London anyway. You know,
Should it?
No, it should be a Londoner who just likes and knows London, and no one's better qualified than Ken.
I'd vote for a Quaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 60.
The Society of Friends?
Yeah.
Oh, don't you get Gordon going. OK, here we go. We've also got the Sun Becks in 3 a.m. baby drama. Beckham, who fell out with Alex Ferguson over the weekend about missed training, is said to have been nursing Brooklyn, who was ill, apparently. Brighty, what's the word? What's the rumour from Footballville on this one?
I haven't heard anything yet.
You sure?
No, I mean...
Dish it, Mark. You and the match I know everything.
Honestly.
You, Hanson, that Gary Lineacre.
And Mark Lawrenson?
Yeah, you must have heard something.
No, not yet.
Matt Lawrence must have said something too. Oh, he's been up all night.
He's a bit. I mean, Beckham's actually only missed how many games in his whole career?
No, he's only missed 3 training sessions in his career.
In his training, exactly. So he's not...
I don't think he's been dropped for just missing a training session because, you know, plenty of players have missed training sessions. I've missed training sessions, but I think there's something...
Well, that's because you're no longer a professional, Brighty.
In my day.
You still did show up. But go on.
I think there's something more. I think it's a thing that's been brewing for a long time with his wife and, you know, the things that are going off the field. I think it's distracting from his game. But he's been playing well. He's been consistent, so I can't see that. But Alex Ferguson
is just reining him in to make him want it more again.
Yeah, a lot of people think it could be the end of him because he said in his book he sold Pullins because, I mean, loads of players have arguments with the manager. I mean, it's the only job where you could F and blank your manager swear every day and still keep your job. But there seems like there's been something go on in the training ground, and I think he's put his foot down, left him out the team. The team's very, very talented. He's got other players to come in, and he's just showing David Beckham who's the boss.
Well, what do you think about this? I mean, in the papers this morning, they're speculating about the power struggle with Posh versus Sir Alex.
Yeah.
Tugging on the lad.
Well, apparently
tugging London, Manchester, London.
Yeah, they've done
Manchester.
An interview in the Spanish version of Hello. And
Hola.
In it, there was a paragraph in it which said he would like to play for Barcelona, and a lot of people have read into that you know maybe he's.
So you think they're trying to make him a little bit unpopular at Manchester United? This is one of the other theories, so that when they sell him for 30 million, the big premium, you know, the fans will think, yeah, well, you know, he wasn't doing very well. He was getting petulant. Do you think there's part of psychology, Sir Alex Ferguson?
It could be.
Mind game genius.
I don't think he's finished at Old Trafford. I think that Alex Ferguson's put his foot down, but he's got a house in Hertfordshire and he's travelling up and down, and you've got to see your son, haven't you? You've got to see your child and your wife.
Right.
Yeah,
Woman,
you know,
right.
But his career and his job must come first because that's what he's about. It's a limited time in his life. After that, he can do what he wants.
But isn't it amazing how many inches the Beckham...
Easy.
Hey, I'm talking column inches.
Swear, easy.
Let's move on, because actually I think there's a story about the Beckhams every day, isn't there, really?
No, but you started. No, but now you started on the column inches tag. Let's go to the Guardian, which is held by Sean Maguire, ladies and gentlemen. This is Livingston loses by a whisker and faces his biggest gamble. Livingston's. I've done it all, haven't we? We've done it all. Do you know what? I'm going to get in there. Oh, deja vu and amnesia at the same time. OK. Vampire bride Lauren Mallett had her teeth lengthened and pointed, only to be told by the gobsmacked groom, no fangs. The bloody wedding's off. This is an unusual vampire couple in what is a weak news day. Last night, she admitted, we decided to split as we realised we weren't right for each other after all. I spent loads of money to make sure our flat was the perfect vampire haven, and my teeth and dress cost hundreds, but John just didn't want any of it.
I can't understand it.
But listen to how they met. This is romance. Can you keep talking, except louder, and see if you can get a minicab driver in there as well, producer? Thank you very much, I appreciate that. Pick up at number 44, do you want to go down there?
Distracting me and I was reading.
Yeah, well, outside. We got a POB on board, mate. The couple met in a cemetery after arranging a date through ghoulish fan club Vampire Connection, which she now coordinates. He didn't go batty when she told him she got a fetish from her mum, who was obsessed with Christopher Lee and had a 6-foot cutout of a vampire standing in the bedroom. Nice. How nice. He even went along with having a coffin in the bedroom. Very romantic. I don't know about going back to a lady's house and finding a coffin in the bedroom.
And soil from the motherland.
Yeah, right. Canadian-born Lauren said,
Master.
I think we rushed things, yes.
Master.
Our sex life was great, but we just weren't a match made in hell.
And after she's had those lovely pointy teeth in as well. That's going to really aid me better, isn't it? But she's got terrible mouth ulcers.
Do you know, they met in a graveyard. First time, it was a blind date in a graveyard. I was thinking, how will I know you? I'll be the only person knocking round there. What do you think? I'll be sitting on a grave with fangs. Anyway, you'll love this. After 25 years of marriage, my husband took up watching porn films. He begged me to understand, but it made me feel rejected. He says, this is dear Miriam in the mirror. After being persuaded and cajoled, I tried to watch them with him, but in the end I had 2 nervous breakdowns and I'm on tranquilizers. I'll tell you what, that's got to be some specialist stuff he's on there, mate. I mean, you'd have thought.
You'd have
eased her in with maybe like an electric blue kind of something a bit soft.
Women in love.
Yeah, or like Playboy Calendar Girls 88.
He's gone straight into the farmyard
in with something, something really. Oh yes, look at her face. She's loving it.
Right, you know.
Well, you can tell by her face she's exactly what
so
she
much
wants.
top shelf and no more.
Okay, there we go. Well, there's some more top shelf for you.
Matron.
I just love the choice the Church of England have made here. This is an odd person to have as your spokesman on the subject of pornography. Plans by Britain's biggest satellite broadcaster to flood the country's small hotels and B&Bs with free pornography were condemned last night. Church of England spokesman, the Reverend Dr. William Beaver, said... the Church of England... I just thought that was a bit odd.
That is fantastic.
Your name? William Beaver. And your subject?
Bill
I'm an
Beaver.
expert in pornography. Good heavens, do you know what? I don't know what this is. This is an ancient law that for some reason is in every paper today.
An ancient law, you
An
say?
ancient law. And I've known about this. I've sort of heard rumours about it since I was a kid. I've heard this is... Well, I'll tell you what it is.
Yield, Christian. Tell
Yield,
us more.
Christian. Good heavens. The Welsh are in peril for their lives. An ancient law uncovered yesterday says the English can murder them. But the killings can only be carried out in Hereford's Cathedral Close on a Sunday, and the attacker must use a longbow and stand exactly 12 yards from the victim. Okay. Talk about serving up a loophole. You know what I mean? Telling you exactly how to do it.
What about an air
Place
rifle?
Welshman here. Stand here. Load bow here.
See, the Welsh have always kept us out.
Yeah.
They canny mob.
You're blocking. But it says here, Katrina Harris of the Welsh Tourist Board believes local councillors should axe the law, particularly with the Six Nations rugby competition about to pit the 2 countries against each other. That's a very good point. It says here, she said,
that is.
we'd like to think of our near neighbours in Hereford as friends, not foes. But if we are attacked, we should have a right to defend ourselves. She's saying the laws are good. It's a good thing. It's useful. What's interesting is well, you'll be the judge of that, but they've scraped up some other little local laws.
Please,
and I
tell.
find these sort of little quirky things in Britain pretty fascinating. Do you, crew?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, and no mistake. Well, here you go. Men over 14 must have 2 hours of weekly longbow practice supervised by the clergy, by law. Chelsea pensioners should not be impersonated. And also, I think this is very interesting for a lot of men. Men can pee in public as long as it's against a rear wheel of their motor car and their right hand is on the vehicle. That's quite interesting, 'cause I've got loads of mates who've been nicked for, you know, like, particularly after football and things. On the way home, you often fancy a little whittle.
Here's one.
Go on, then.
A pregnant woman within the walls of a city of London, if she can't find a public convenience open, can urinate in a policeman's helmet.
How about that?
I can't wait.
I tell you what.
I'm gagging.
Me and the missus are going up there this summer. Also, this is a cheering news for you. Copying the royal emblem remains punishable by death. Hey, do you know Clarissa Dixon Wright of Two Fat Ladies?
Lovely, yeah.
Doesn't she look like Ken Clark, former Chancellor? I'm not being funny, it's just like Kenneth Clark.
It does.
It really does, doesn't she? Just thought I'd share that with you.
Don't you?
And finally, this week in Parliament, it says, you know, they've got today what they're debating, tomorrow what they're debating, Wednesday, Commons and Lords are in recess for the rest of the week. I mean, it's interesting, though, is it ironic how school children and MPs are the only people to get half terms?
Yeah.
I thought that was rather right. No. Let's have the pun down. Yeah.